Hi, everyone. My name is Coriel Kramer, and I have to first apologize profusely for all of this stuff that's been going on with Facebook Live. But the support for Facebook Live is very interesting, in which there is none. You can't call anybody, you can't stream to anybody. So I'm pretty much just trying to figure this all out on my own. Hey, if anybody's got any ideas on how you go about scheduling the Facebook Live, please let me know, because I'm having a bugaboo about it. It's becoming a very challenging thing for me, and so that's what was happening. I scheduled it on my private page, and it told me it was all scheduled, it's all good to go, and then I couldn't go live because the button was grayed out. So breathe. So I am again sorry for the lateness of this whole thing, and I am going to try to do my best to get this all straightened out, all ready to rock and roll, without any hitches, with any problems. And so, but that's what live is all about, I guess. So here we go. This is, I want to first thank everyone for joining me and having patience while I go through the Facebook Live learning process, I should say. This is episode 7. This is my personal Facebook Live series that I wanted to do, and I call it the Animal Experience. And the Animal Experience is going to be each week a different discussion, a different topic on subjects that I've talked about with the animals over the years. I want to thank everybody for joining, and also for sending me love, because I'm sorry. Again, I apologize for the lateness. Facebook Live is interesting. I'm in a learning process, so I'm just in the process of learning, but pretty soon I'm going to get to be an expert with all this stuff, that's for sure. So I'm glad everybody made it too. And I'm glad to see you, Adele. Absolutely. I hope you're feeling better. So the Animal Experience is my encounters with the animals, discussions that I've had with them over the years on a myriad of subjects. We've already discussed death, reincarnation, food animals, animals who are used for food and sustenance. What do they think? Last week we talked about, do animals reason, or is it just instinct? So there's been a huge array of different subjects, but I'm trying to put them all in an order, or they are actually falling in a perfect order. So one right after the other follows the other. I also want to say thank you to the people who have sent me their ideas for topics, because that's really been fantastic. Because I want to hear what you have to say. I want to hear what you want me to ask the animals or animal kind. And I've been doing this for a lot of years, so I think I got a really good handle on it. But I need to expand it a little bit, and that's where you come in. So I want to thank you for sending me your information, your ideas. I am now set, and I want you to keep on sending it to me, but just FYI, I am now set for an episode a week going all the way into April. So that's the bomb diggity as far as I'm concerned. I'm pretty psyched about that. And that's we're only under episode 7. It's only been going on for not even 2 months. So, and I'm already set for April. So it's awesome, but keep them coming. Keep the stuff coming. So that's what's been going on with me. And again, the Animal Experience I'm really excited about, and it's really close and near and dear to my heart, and people are enjoying it, and I appreciate you all for enjoying it and watching both live and later on. It doesn't matter, just that, and you letting me know that you like it, that you're loving it, that it's really something that's really expanding and growing your mind. I mean, damn, I couldn't ask for better, and I'm sure the animals are thrilled. So today is Episode 7, How Animals Communicate with Us, with the world, and with other animals. So, last week was about reason versus instinct. Do animals, are they only just instinct, or do they also reason? So then I decided, and I touched a little bit about communication, and I thought that this would be a nice segue from that. So here we go. So in general, how do animals communicate? Well, animals in general communicate in a wide range of ways. They communicate through sounds, growls, howls, hoots, things like that there. Through body language, they can tell an animal's body language. And them, each other's body language, like when cats are rubbing against each other, that's all body language, lingo. Senses, through their senses, smell, taste, touch, feel, and of course, through them, what was the other thing I want to say? And through hearing, through being able to also, get their point across through, like I said before, the howls, the sounds, the chirps, the whole 9 yards. So that's one of the ways, or the myriad of ways, that animals communicate to each other, even to us. When a cat comes and rubs herself against you, or your dog comes and lays his head in your lap, you kind of get an idea of what's going on. Then what it is that their but that's not the main form of communication. It's not what they rely on. It's not their go-to. Their go-to is telepathy. And so telepathy is, what I mean by that is that if you ever watched like a documentary on wolves hunting or lions hunting in a pack, they are using all of their communications. They're using the sights, the sounds, the smells, their senses. They're using the body language, absolutely, but they're also using telepathy. This is how they can move in such a coordinated way. Okay, it is not just because they have to be silent when they're hunting, so they can't really, and they're hunting in the dark, so one might be coming from a mile off. So how do they communicate to each other? Through telepathy, and that's how, that's their main go-to way. It's like the herd of animals, how they stay together, how they know and they move. It's not just body language. It's that, the leader is letting the other ones know, okay, we're going to hang a left. Everybody hang a left now. Things like that there. So that's the elephants. If you ever see elephants when they're being hunted, they instinctively, but they also reason that the stronger ones go on the outside, and the weaker ones, the babies, the women, the older elephants, go on the inside of the circle. And they know to coordinate that in a certain way, which elephant goes where, through telepathy. Domesticated animals, for example. So sometimes your animal is, just sitting there, just staring at you. Does not making any sound. Just staring at you. Sometimes you'll see animals, like one animal will be across the room and they're both lying down. One animal's across the room, the other animal's in another room. That animal gets up, goes over to that other animal. They start snuggling or something else like that there. That usually is a sign of telepathy, because they're not in eyesight of one another. So somehow or another they communicated that the other one wanted to snuggle. How do they do that? Yes, it could be that they just felt like it at the time, but usually there's a more intense conversation going on. Hey, Bert, come on over and let's snuggle. Things like that there. Now, it's not always when they're looking at you, but I would say primarily a lot of the times when an animal is staring intently at you, they are communicating or trying to communicate through telepathy to you. So what is telepathy? Okay. Telepathy, it comes from the Greek word, the two words. The first word meaning tele or tele, which means distance. And then the second word is pathia, and pathia means feelings. So basically it means to send perceptions, thoughts, or feelings across a distance. Like a telescope shows you how you can watch distant things, distant stars, comets, things like that. They bring that closer. So, sorry, I lost my train of thought. So it's the ability to communicate with another being, no matter where they are, through the use of your mind. That's essentially what telepathy is. It's using your mind to communicate to another being somewhere else, a distance, no matter how far, whether it's feet, inches. It's not using your mouth. It's not using body language. It's not using your senses. It's using your mind to communicate. So telepathy can come through in many forms. It can come through in images, smells, sensations. Now, how does telepathy come through smells? It's really essentially words. An animal could say to another animal, I smell fire. Okay. And the animal will understand, and then they'll, depending on where they are, like, miles off, I'm smelling fire, and it's coming towards us in this direction, a southwesterly direction. And then the other animal will know to smell it. So images, sensations, feelings, this is all telepathy because it doesn't use words. It doesn't use your mouth. It doesn't use sounds. It uses feelings. It uses sensations. It uses perceptions. So I hope that straightens that out. Hang on. Oh boy, I get what you're saying. Adele says, oh boy, I get what you're saying. This is what Dozy and I do each day, all day. Yeah, I know. I've seen the pictures. And we're very connected. It's a huge gift. It is. It's a very huge gift. I'll go more into that. It is a huge gift. And it's amazing. It's really amazing. And we're going to go more into this both in this episode and in the episodes that are following. Promise. Okay, so where was I? Sorry, I gotta just look at my notes. Just small citation. Okay, so what happens is that the telepathy communication can come through in many forms, like I said. And what happens is that you then, or the being then interprets what they're getting and puts it into a whole conversation in their mind. And it's translated into a language that any being can understand. It's not just that, how do I describe it? I'm going to describe it more. But what happens is you input all this stuff, it goes into the mixer inside your mind, and then it comes out as a language. And I'll explain that more in a little bit. So what was I saying? So this is how, and what it is that it can be interpreted and translated into a language that any being can understand with another being with ease. It really is easy. It's also over species, okay? Because it's perceptions. It's not howling. It's not chirping. It's not sounds. It's on a very, very, very deep level. And this is why a hawk, and it's always species, it's over species, so excuse me. So this is why a hawk can communicate with a coyote. It's why an elephant can talk with a cat, okay? It's why a horse can talk with a bear. All right, we've all seen the videos, all right, on YouTube, okay, where, people are sending them to me constantly, where they're like, a bumblebee, and a cat curl up together, or an elephant and a dog are the best friends. They're all amazing. Excuse me. They're all extraordinary. They're all incredible. But what it is that these animals are communicating on a very deep level. And that's telepathy. And, you know, people will say, oh my God, they're acting like they're almost human. I personally hate that expression, but, you know, people use it. That is telepathy at work. That's what it is, okay? It's enabling you to talk across not only distances, but species. So, how as an animal communicator, how do I talk to the animals as an animal communicator? Okay, I hope that all makes sense for telepathy. I hope I got that across for you. So, what do? You know, so I'm able to talk to the animals who are all over the world. I have clients all over the world, and they're animals all over the world. Spain, China, Russia, you know, and I'm able to talk to all these animals without an issue, without a problem, without hesitation. It's all good. So how am I able to do that? So what telepathy does, in a nutshell, is it enables me to connect to these animals, and then it opens a channel of communication through which whole conversations, so which words, images, sounds, smells, sensations can come through. The animal is letting me know on a very, very deep level through images, through pictures, through sensations, through feelings of what they're feeling about the subject that we're talking about. So in a nutshell, what it is that then what my brain does is it takes all this information that's coming in, oh God, and my intuition as well, I'm using my intuition as well, and they're able to take everything I'm receiving and interpret it into a very powerful conversation from these animals. So it's why I can talk to the animals no matter where they live, India, China, Germany, or the US, okay? Telepathy is not limited by distance. It's also not limited by language. Telepathy is the language of the heart. To me, it's the purest language of the heart. It is the language of the heart, the soul, and yeah, even the mind. It is something where beings can lie with their words. They can even lie with their feelings, but usually they're lying with the words. So you can't always believe words. But when you connect to somebody, when you're connected to another being, and it's this pure heart language of emotion, of connection, of sensations, of feelings, of how they're seeing the world and how they're seeing their lives, you can't hide from that, really. I mean, you can maybe put a little block or a little wall up, yeah, but that's pure because it's heart. You know, and the animals are very tied to the heart. So that's basically what I do as an animal communicator. So my next question is, you know, do animals who are domesticated, do they communicate the same way as animals who are in the wild? Now, there are similarities, absolutely, without a doubt. But having a conversation with a wild animal compared to a domesticated animal is like, it's like having a conversation between a tribal man from Papua New Guinea, all right, or a horseman from Mongolia, you know, and then a person from rural or urban America. Is there similarities? You know, you breathe, you live, you love, you experience, you desire, but is it the same? No, it's not exactly the same. And here's why. So we all have the basic needs, wants, and desires that the tribal people, that everybody has. But the tribal people, they're more freer. They're more in a natural state. They don't worry about income tax. They don't care about that. They're more of the, you know, the natural state of the world and the world around them. They see it differently, you know. They see the world, they see nature more as a melody and a symphony than we do, who are in a rural, more urban kind of like civilization, so to speak. It doesn't mean one is right, one is wrong, one is good, one is bad. It's just a different outlook on things. The wild animals are more raw, they're more intense, they're more intensely deep, I want to say. And to a certain extent, they're more on a intensely deep spiritual side than domesticated animals are. And that does not mean that domesticated animals are not spiritual. They are, but it's a different kind of, it's like talking to a Native American from 500 years ago and talking to somebody today. It's going to be, there are going to be similarities, but there's also going to be a lot of differences, especially the way we see the world. So that's kind of like what's going on with that. What did I want to say? Hang on one second. Oh, right. Sorry. Wild animals see life as one big adventure. They see it moment to moment, second by second, minute to minute. Okay, day to day. They want to live their. They see it like this because to them life is fragile. Domesticated animals have a bigger picture. They want to know what their life purpose is. They want to, you know, how to please us on a daily basis, how to be an animal companion on a daily basis. Wild animals don't care about that. They care about survival. They care about how they're going to get their next meal. But they care about, also they have this clarity, this simplicity, and I don't mean that they're simple. They just have this clarity, of simplistic clarity about them. And they usually, you know, and their communications usually reflect the kind of energy, which is, you know, living from minute to minute, moment to moment, and appreciating your life on that kind of a basis is like a totally different ball of wax than, you know, living your life and wanting to go, and this is not judging. I love the pictures, people. Don't start thinking I don't. But when is my next time I'm going to go with Mom to Starbucks? You know, well, when's the next time I'm going to eat? How am I going to get through this winter? So the animals, the domesticated animals and the wild animals are slightly different, but they also have, especially when they're talking about like with other things like how they see the world and stuff like that, there are some, how they see death, reincarnation. Yes, it is very similar, very much the same. So, so yeah, okay. So that covers that. So that's the difference between wild and domesticated animals. So I'm going to wrap this up. So what's so special about me? Meaning, well, I mean, there are a lot of things special about me, I like to think. But what I'm trying to say is, but as far as telepathy goes, you know, why is it so easy for me? And, you know, it's simply because I'm doing it every single day, every single moment, a lot, okay? I'm doing it and I'm working it, and I'm working my ability, my telepathy on a daily basis. And I don't even know how many times a day I do it. I'm always connected. I'm connected to everything. So that's the only difference. You are telepathic. And we're going to talk more about this. All right? I've just honed my telepathic skills. So every single sentient being on this planet is telepathic. Every single sentient being. And that means you too. So in the next few episodes, I'll be talking about the subject and, you know, things that can be done to break down blockages that keep you from hearing the animals. But the only thing of it is that it's kind of like that old adage, how do you get to Carnegie Hall? Practice, practice, practice. How do you get good with anything? You got to keep on practicing. You got to keep on doing it. You got to keep on honing it. I by no means do I think that I have reached the pinnacle and that's it, and I don't have to sit back on my laurels. I can talk to animals. I don't have to do it anymore. I don't have to expand. I'm constantly expanding the way that I talk to animals, constantly. And it only makes me a better person. I believe it makes me a better animal communicator. So, and that's, I think, what we're all trying to achieve. We're all trying to achieve connection. We're all trying to achieve how to get together with one another, how to love one another, how to care about one another, how to connect in ways like we've never done before, or ways we used to do when we were kids, but then we maybe have forgotten or something like that. But that's what it's all about, is an animal communication, and telepathy in general will open up your world like you have no idea. Because as I said before, every single sentient being on this planet is telepathic. So think about that. That's not just animals, that's insects, that's trees, that's the earth itself. I mean, it's, as long as it's got energy and life to it, you know. So it's not just the animals, although they're easy. They're the easy way in. Okay, so that's pretty much what telepathy is, and this is how the animals communicate with us and each other and the world. And it's something that I know for me has brought me unending joy, and I look forward to being able to show you kind of like how to maybe step into it a little bit in the upcoming couple episodes. So I want to thank everybody again for joining me. I want to thank everybody for having patience with this Facebook thing. Again, if you have any ideas about how do you schedule your, if you do a live and show, and how you schedule it, let me know, because I'm having a bugaboo about it, and I want to be able to do it through my computer and not just through the camera on my phone, because it's a little annoying. But again, thank everybody. I want to thank you all seriously for joining me. Keep your topics coming, okay? Keep them coming. Yes, I'm set until April, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to need more topics, or maybe I can input some topics into, you know, in between other topics that I'm doing and stuff like that there. So if you got a topic, please send it to me. Oh, look at all the love and the likes I'm getting. I love it. Thank you. So next week, we're going to be talking about, on the animal experience, we're going to be talking about mutual respect, how to gain it and how to keep it with the animals. You know, what you can do and how you can start thinking about how I'm going to start opening up these doors really to my animals, and not only to my animals, but to the world of animals itself. So it's going to be really, really good. All right. And there's going to be some mind-blowing stuff going on. So for a session or reading, you can go to my website, and that's easy. It's CorielKramer.com. Or an email is mail@CorielKramer.com, or on Facebook, Coriel Kramer, or CorielKramer.com. Twitter is Coriel Kramer, and so is Pinterest and Instagram, Coriel Kramer. And if you have any questions, feel free to send them to me. I look forward to seeing you all next week. I'm going to just keep my fingers crossed that next week we're going to get it, and I'm going to get this scheduled, and it's all going to be okay, and it's going to be bada bing, bada boom, without any problem. That's the intention I'm setting for next week. So I hope you all can join me, and I want to thank you all again, and love to you, love to your animals. You all are amazing, and so are they, and they bring unending joy to my life as well, and I'm glad to know both you and them. So I will see you guys next week. Cheers. Bye-bye.